Come on. Go! Cuckoo!
Thank you, Dragon Balls!
Later. Stay alive, Vegeta.
I bet my last ounce of pride!
Alright, what's going on, gentlemen? Here we go. Let's try to make this a very short video. I want this to be the Should You Summon team build guide as well as equipment guide for COOELR. Just truncate all these things into one video. So, should you summon for COOELR? If you are a powerful opponent main, if you are a movies main, and if you are an LOE main, I say yes. COOELR is a fantastic addition to all of those teams. If you are a future main, you got Yellow Goku Black, Blue Rose, Trunks and Gohan, I don't think he's necessary for your team. Especially with you running double yellow right now. We got UVB and UGB running everywhere. I don't think you would want to deal with both of those things together. And if you're somebody that really likes COOELR, then, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's your favorite character. He's really, really strong. If you're somebody that went 20k CC in, you didn't pull him, and you're wondering if you should keep pursuing him or wait, I say at that point, just focus on farming and then wait. Try to see what's going to happen next week or the week after to gauge whether you still want to push for COOELR. And in that time, keep farming up Chrono Crystals. If you end up seeing the new stuff and you're not really interested and you just want to focus on COOELR, then at that point you can use all the CC you sort of held off on and just continue summoning for him. The banner goes, I think it's live until October, so you do have a good amount of time, I believe. So that's going to be the Should You Summon portion. The team build guide. I think COOELR has some really powerful teams. So for his best teams, in my opinion, immediately you want to run this guy with Broly. I think Broly is this guy's best friend, or COOELR is Broly's best friend. COOELR, to me, is a hyper offensive oriented character. He's vulnerable to big moves and the rush, which would mean that a character that seals those up and puts them at bay is something that you really want to rely on, which is Broly to a T. The full unique age sealing up main abilities, sealing up rushes for like 15 counts is exactly what you would want. Plus, the type synergy between yellow and green is a match made in heaven. They are best friends. COOELR, I know he has his own rush ceiling when he gets hit, but you would want as much rush ceiling as you could possibly get. There's sub-count manipulation between the two, and then once you pair it with the fact that you're looking at an auto counter, paired alongside all that ceiling, and you got all the defensive capabilities with COOELR, I think you're looking at a really good duo synergy. Now for me, I like to throw a support whenever I can, and in this PvP season, they decided to put Android 13 in the S tier boost, and I think this is a really great, powerful opponent trio. S tier boost for Android 13 means this guy has multipliers that are kind of close to what modern characters are looking like, so he's not going to die right away. But a big thing is his disrupt. That disrupt is just one of the few things that can stop UVB, and is one of the few things that would stop COOELR as well. Just a total dead stop to the combo potential. He's got a revival, which is going to be really valuable because COOELR has the anti-endurance gauge with the rising rush, so a revival character on your team is pretty smart. And he's got the sub-count manipulation, so you can keep going back into your COOELR to keep pressuring your opponent. He's got the healing to make sure these two stay alive. I mean, what's not to love about Android 13? And the beauty of this is a powerful opponent movie setup. So your bench options are really, really easy. You can go ahead and let's start with the easy ones. I think you would want to double Zenkai buff the COOELR. So start with the yellow Broly because one, max HP bench and yellow powerful opponent Zenkai buffer, match made in heaven, and then go with the yellow Gogeta. This guy is giving a Zenkai buff to yellow movies, and he has a double offense Z ability. You want to go double Zenkai buff for COOELR because you want your opponent to get intimidated. You want them to swap out because COOELR's doing too much damage. You want your damage dealer to do so much damage that your opponent doesn't know what to do and they panic. They swap out, giving you another card, translating to more damage. Basically, you want to suffocate your opponent with so much offense. You really got to give him as many Zenkai buffers as you can. So these two, I think, are really, really good. max HP in particular because COOELR has tons of healing. This guy has, what, 8% HP every time you deal with an enemy and you draw a strike, which go hand in hand. So that's really good for him sustaining himself. And then Broly, same idea. That guy needs to take a couple of hits for his unique gauge to earn. If you're not on the offensive front, if you're relying on him for defense. So I think it'd be a good idea to get him some additional max HP. And then your final bench, very easily, can just be Dragon Fist. Dragon Fist Goku. So double offense C ability again with the 3% strike damage going to COOELR. So I think this is what you want to go with. Don't bother Zenkai buffing Android 13. I don't think it's worth it. Just rely on the disrupt and the revival that he has as his quote-unquote defensive measures. He was never going to do any damage. This is what I would go for if I had to make a movie's powerful opponent setup. Your other alternative is you could drop Android 13 and instead go with Golden Frieza and 17. I know this is going to be a very common setup because, number one, they are just one of the best units in the game. Really good support, really good disrupt. And similar to what I mentioned in a previous video, 17 and Golden Frieza pair beautifully with Broly. The 100 and minus 100 key disrupt that these guys have, it's best leveraged with a character that locks in, which is what Broly does on cover change. So these two together would be another example of totally stopping your opponent from doing any sort of combo. And you can go ahead and take advantage of this guy giving additional support for the team, giving additional damage guard for COOELR. So these two pair beautifully well together. This synergy is really, really nice. Although you would probably put this character in the leader slot, just so that you can leverage some easy movie benches. You could probably drop the yellow Gogeta here. I wish I could... Is this a way to... Oh, make leader. Oh, you can't see it. Either way, you can't... It's not flipping the options here, but leader slot, these two on the side, and then your final character could easily just be the Revival Frieza. Powerful opponent Z ability, LOE, Zenkai buffer. So each person here gets a Zenkai buff. Really, really awesome. I think this synergizes pretty damn well together. You could also set up an LOE version of this, where you could still throw COOELR in the leader slot, or you throw Broly in the leader slot, and then your bench is just going to consist of the yellow full power Frieza somewhere. That's what you could go with. That's what I think would be some of the better teams for him. And then finally, I know a lot of people are kind of running this cheeky double yellow setup with the yellow Goku Black, as well as, what was it? It was yellow Goku Black. No, was it Hit? There was a double yellow setup I saw a couple times. It's super niche. I wouldn't recommend it really, but if you wanted to be cheeky and run double yellow, you could do COOELR and yellow Goku Black, and then you put these guys in the leader slot. I wouldn't recommend it, but that would be like a niche third option if you really wanted. But movie powerful opponent is probably going to be his best setup, and Broly and or 17 Golden Frieza are his best friends. That's what I think. Oh, I also didn't want to forget real quick. We just talked about 13 and 17 Golden Frieza. You could easily run those three together. You can either throw COOELR in the leader slot and make it an Android bench, or you can flip it and make it Android 13 in the leader slot, and then it becomes an LOE bench. I don't think it's going to matter too much. Where on earth is 13? I don't think it'll matter too much, but just the synergy between 13 and 17 and Golden Frieza will just make COOELR do astronomical amounts of damage. And the beauty of it is there is no real penalty here. There's no compromise. 17 and Golden Frieza can do everything. 13 is going to help you with the disruptive effects, and then COOELR just kicks the crap out of everybody. So you could easily run these three together. Your bench would just be a combo of LOE and, I guess, Android benches to make this work. Or if you wanted to make it a LOE bench, LOE setup, then I think that one would be easier. So you'd probably go with the yellow full power Frieza. Where is he? Where is that damn Frieza? Go with this guy, and then you put the blue Revival Frieza, just because he's blue LOE, while simultaneously helping out that guy. And then I guess it would be kind of cheeky to put blue Dabura, wouldn't it? You get green cards, blue double offense Z ability. That goes pretty hard for these guys. But the last one is really up to you and who you want to Zenkai buff at the end. You could easily go with like a green android here, or maybe just stick with the LOE bench, where instead I make this guy leader, and then the entire bench is LOE, and I can go with a golden Frieza instead. Where is he? That very old green golden Frieza. This guy here. So yeah, this setup is another competent setup for COOELR. I'm actually looking forward to trying out all these teams that I mentioned in this video. They're all going to become different videos so we can test them out. But yeah, those are some pretty competent teams for COOELR, I think. For his equipment, the equipment options are thankfully a lot easier, but two things are going to rely on your teams. Number one, this equip right here, that drop with his release, I think this is going to be a must run for COOELR. Special move, max HP, ultimate damage, base strike attack, and pure strike attack. 15% to boot. This is everything. This is the holy trinity of what you'd want to give COOELR. He has multiple ultimates, additional ult damage. Max HP, help with the sustainability, base strike, and pure strike attack. What's not to love? I think this is a must run for COOELR. The other must run equipment is what I used in his showcase. It is the one with, where is he? King Cold on it. This one is fantastic. Base strike attack, 35%, 10% max HP, and then 10% pure strike attack. With the, if this is a melee type character, which COOELR is. A big reason for it is COOELR is constantly drawing strikes. When his unique gauge fills, it's a strike card. When he fights a new opponent, it's a strike card. So just go all in on amplifying his strike attack. And then the final equip, it depends on your team. So earlier, I just talked about a team with Broly as well as 17 and Golden Frieza. If you run those characters with him, if you run that setup for him, this is the equipment that you have to run. This is the third and final equipment option. So you run Broly, he satisfies this condition, gives him the double pure strike and blast attack. And then if you have the Golden Frieza and 17, you now get the double pure strike and blast defense. I'm not sure if Legends plans on doing this going forward, where, you know, semi-recent releases find some way to stitch in with new releases, because this game used to be just, oh, I leader slot new character with already established meta team forever and ever and ever, and they're supporting that. But that's what this looks like. This is Broly, 17 Golden Frieza, COOELR. This equipment literally supports that exact same team. Everyone can use that equip. Everyone runs together with this equip. I think that's what they're trying to support. We saw something similar with UVB getting his plat. They gave us a unique equip that has you running UVB with UGB as well. So I think this is going to be your third and final equip if you run that team setup. Otherwise, it's really up to you on what you want for the other teams. This is not a bad niche one. The meta is ran by Saiyans, let's be honest here. Legend Rose, Yellow Goku Black, UVB, Buu Duo, Broly. So this one wouldn't be too bad. Additional health restore is great too. But honestly, you can't go wrong with whatever third option you want to run. I ran this only because my character, I just decided to give him additional base strike attack. 45 additional base strike attack is pretty damn good. You could give him this if you wanted to, because you're going to be using 17 and Golden Frieza. So you could take advantage of all the pure offenses if you really wanted to. Third option, you can't really go wrong. So hopefully that answers stuff. If you're confused, if you don't know how to build your team, if you're thinking of some other options, let me know in the comment section below how you're building your COOELR, and if this little simplified video helps you out. Oh, in terms of finding these equips, I believe this one is the co-op equip, and I think this one is in the equipment collection. I believe that's what this is. And then this is in the PvP gold exchange shop. I think you can, it's the rare metal shop now because this is a very old equip. And then this is in the Ultra Space Time Rush exchange shop. You have to awaken equipment to get this one. But until next time, fellas, peace.